Hey, thanks so much, Tiffany. We so do appreciate you. Are you what are you coming to Florida? Are you coming to Florida? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, I am. I'm coming down. I'm driving down Saturday. I'll be in various parts of Florida.
Congrats on vacation.
No,
No? All
masterminds,
right.
mobile masterminds. I'm just bringing myself down to Florida, and I'll be working from there. That's all.
Fantastic. Hey, by the way, I love aside from the grit shirt, I love that shirt. That's awesome.
Well, listen, I told you earlier, real estate really kicked my butt in a great way this week. So when I was picking out my shirt, I was like, should I be professional? I am director of ops. But then I said, no. I'm Wonder Woman this week. So I've done it all the damn things this week. All of them.
That is a super, super, super cool t-shirt or shirt, not t-shirt, but shirt.
Thank you.
And on a positive note, Tiffany, thank you for coming down because we did need the rain. We've been in a just saying.
It happened in September too. When I came down, there was a hurricane. So you're welcome, you guys.
I know that's right.
We'll bring that.
All right. Yeah, so thank you all for being here and everybody who's on here that showed up on time. And yes, for those of us that show up early, I'd like to play some music. So that's because I just can't sit in silence. So I love to play music and listen to that, get all charged up. I am charged up. I'm a little bit fired up. And I know Tommy Boy is too. And we've, of course, got Debbie and DJ with us as well. And so over the past couple of weeks, we've had a lot of people reach out to us and ask us to switch things up a little bit. And so we are going to do that. I'm pretty excited about that. Today, we're going to talk about a concept that I'm pretty passionate about. And it's come up quite a bit over the past, couple of weeks with coaching clients and, of course, in our conversations. And, of course, we already brought up that we're past quarter one and we're now well into quarter two, actually. So we'll get into that. But, going forward, we're going to have a great conversation. We're going to talk about leadership. And another thing that's going to go on the table is influence. So we're going to talk about leadership and influence quite a bit in the coming weeks. And I think you guys will all find that valuable since, I don't know about our backgrounds and, DJ, myself, Tom, Debbie, all ran large real estate offices, and many of you are running teams and things of that nature. So I think you have a lot to contribute as well. And so I'm pretty excited about that because I do feel right now that in our industry, yes, as well in our daily lives and even in the world for all that matter, I think there's a serious lack of leadership. And so I think that's a conversation that needs to be tabled. I think that's something we need to talk about. And of course, that as well as influence going forward. So excited for that. So I trust that you might be as well. And if you are, look forward to that on these upcoming calls for the next couple of Fridays, because I think you'll find some value in that and some useful things that you can take back and use in your business and in your lives and those you're in relationship with. Anyway, listen, so we've got a conversation today about, are you playing to win? Are you playing not to lose? And I want to take the time to dissect that. And yet I'd love to hear from you guys on the call. Hearing that statement, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? What does that mean to you? Or what do you think that means? How do you take that interpretation? I've certainly got my opinion around it. And yet I'd love to hear from all of you guys. We'd love to hear from all of you guys. What is your thoughts around that? How do you interpret that? Robert, Tech Bits.
Tech Bits.
Yeah, Curtis, good morning, and thank you for the music as always. From my perspective, and again, this is me only. If we're talking about real estate, I'll just start with real estate. People are like, oh, the market's bad, everything's not right. I look at it as I've done my best business in these types of markets. I'm sorry, but the weak agents are headed to the door. They came in, they hit the quick sales. Loved working with you, but I'm sorry. It's time to up your game. And for us that are here, it's time for up our game even more. And when I up my game, it means I'm also trying to up the game of everyone that I'm interacting with and everyone that I'm supporting. I think it's time to literally get off the fence and decide if this is what you're going to do, go for it. Go for broke. Because if you don't, you will be broke. So either go for broke or be broke. Simple as that to me.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
When I was thinking about that this morning, Curtis, as well, the topic, and I'm always on the edge, always asking for forgiveness because I'm always taking risk. I'm pushing the envelope even more and more and more, right? So as I'm thinking about this, I'm like, playing to win, you're taking chances, you're pushing forward, you're not taking no for an answer, and playing not to lose is playing the cautious game, right? Being very, very cautious. And I don't have cautiousness pretty much in my DNA. So personally, I'm not stupid, but I'm very cautious. I'm only cautious when it's the law, but I push the envelope to the furthest I can to win. So I was looking at that. Are you taking chances? Are you diving forward and figuring out the issues later, or are you just playing just to be cautious and hopefully you win?
Awesome. Thank you. Who else?
So here's a question. How would we know? What does playing to win look like? And what does playing not to or playing not to lose? How does that show up? And where does it show up? So if you were going to describe, let's talk about real estate. If you were going to describe playing to win, what does playing to win look like?
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay, so like for me, if you're playing to win, right, you are working with you're not just doing this 1 hour lead gen kind of day. Like you are invested, you are doing what you need to do day in and day out. You're very, you have clarity on what you need to be doing. So, you're talking 4 or 5 deals a month, you're playing to win. You know that you're going to be successful because if one of those are to blow up, it's not going to affect you as bad as if you're playing it safe just to get by. Because everyone knows if you only have 1 deal closing and it goes to if it goes to crap that month, you're feeling it on a whole nother level. However, if you have 4, 5, 6 transactions happening in 1 month, it's a very different feeling, like, oh, I could just get them back under contract. Because that's not what you need at that moment to pay your bills. So for me, that's what it means.
What I heard you say was purposeful lead gen, meaning I have a goal for the amount of conversations I'm going to have every day, and I'm tracking it and I'm looking at it. And then if I'm off, I'm readjusting.
Hey, Coach. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Jamal.
Hey, good morning. Hey, just to add to that question you asked there, Coach Debbie, playing to win, what does that look like? I think it shows up in times of adversity. It's a self-check, gut check, how bad you really want it. So most people is going to back up and just tuck themselves in the corner and, hey, I really don't want it that bad. And that's a self-check each and every one of us have to have. And if it's us, if it's you, that, when times get hard and you back up and just don't want to do it when you know you have to do it, then you might want to look yourself in the mirror and, hey, am I really playing to win? That's it.
I'm going to piggyback on that because if you have a plan B, then you're never committed to plan A. Right?
Oh, wow. Yes. Holy
Burn
smokes.
the ship.
Okay, call's over. We can all go now.
Yes.
Thank you, DJ.
Holy cow.
Drop the mic on us.
Wow.
So I
No,
love that, plan A or none. There you
You
go.
know?
That should have been the name of the call.
It's always comes down to fear, don't you think? it's always that fear. It's the fear of being rejected. It's the fear of not being good enough. It's the fear of not knowing enough. It's always comes back to the fear. And it's easy to say, just don't be afraid, but it's not easy not to be afraid. And you know, what I'm seeing with agents is that they're not reaching out to people that can support them and help them get through what they're going through. And, you know, we all have people to talk to, and we all have people that will help us. So if it's like somebody said, what do I say if they ask me a question I don't know? Well, you don't lie. You don't say, you don't say, make something up, but you say, I work with a really big team. I don't know the answer to that, but somebody does. So let me get back to you. Right. So it's, you know, it's putting that, having that feeling of support around you kind of gives you the opportunity to move forward and to get out of that fear place. I'm done.
I love that. I don't know, but I can find out for you answer. Coming from customer service my whole life, when I call and someone just blatantly lies to me because they're new and they just made up a lie instead of getting the correct answer, it's so frustrating.
Yeah. So if you have a plan B, you're not committed to plan A. You know, when I heard DJ say that, what I heard was someone making a call and, oh, they rejected me, so that doesn't work. Let me try something else, right? Staying committed to the path of proven systems, tools, and models and processes, you got to let it work its course. Go for no, and then the yes will appear, right? I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Thanks, DJ.
DJ made it completely silent in here.
I was going to say what Claire just said in the chat, burn the boats. I think that's where I'm even at in my career is I started this 1.5 years ago and there was no plan B, DJ. It was either I get it or I don't want to be that lady under the bridge. So there was no alternative.
Alethea, I got to give credit to Desiree. Desiree put it first. Just saying.
You know, I had when all of us ran offices, and I'm sure DJ and Tom and Curtis can all say, oh my gosh, that was the favorite type of agent to recruit. My favorite agent. Never give up, Tom's.
I seen it behind Ted's on his wall, never give up. And I got my cup right there, never give up.
All of us, because we talked about this all the time. If we had a single parent get their real estate license, come into our office and say, we're going to be an agent, that's somebody whose boats are burned. They don't have a choice. Every single parent that I hired became a mega and a rock star because they're not making calls for them. They're making calls for their children's future, right? So when your why is bigger than feeling uncomfortable because someone says no, when you've burned the boats, when you have no other option than to start in the A's in your phone and keep asking who wants to buy or sell invest real estate that I can call today, because you don't have another choice, that's when you become fearless. Now, I'm reading a book this week that talked about confidence. Maybe I was listening to Simon Sinek. I don't remember. Could be either one. It wasn't Simon Sinek. But anyways, it was around confidence, and people feel like they have to feel confident to do something. And the reality with confidence is you have to take action to build your confidence. We build confidence every day by making calls. If we don't make calls and we don't make them consistently, we don't move our confidence forward. But if we take consistent action every day, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks from now, we turn back and go, it's the action that actually builds the confidence. So if you're waiting till you feel ready, you're never going to be ready. You can practice scripts all day. You can practice your listing presentation all day. Till you start doing it, you won't start to build your confidence. And everybody, when they start, has no confidence. So you're just like everybody else. You're not special. You're like everyone else that says, well, I don't know the answers and I'm afraid. Well, everybody started not knowing the answers. And slowly but surely, we build our knowledge of answers. Every time we come up against a question we don't know and we find out the answer, we get confident. So your confidence is built by making your calls every day. Your confidence is built by having a target of conversations every day. That's how the confidence gets built. I love that, right? Waiting till I have the confidence versus recognizing it's the action that builds the confidence. I love that.
Yeah.
Let me jump in on there on a personal basis. So I called, I think it was Curtis last week, and I'm like, follow-up works. Now I've been doing this for how many years? Like 26 years. And I'm always like reluctant for the follow-up. I love the first time, the first meeting and whatever, but that follow-up, I just, and I just said, okay, I'm doing it. And so I sat down and I did it. And the response was great. I got what I wanted. I'm like, I had to tell somebody, Curtis, it works. Follow up works. He's like, yeah. So, it's like stepping out and doing those things that even the little things that you really, really don't want to do.
Hey, Krista, I think she has her hand up.
Krista, how are you?
You're on mute.
Great. I was talking already.
Talk to
My
yourself,
comments.
Krista.
Good morning. My comment was that, it's just so easy to get distracted in the things that really don't matter in our business. And I would say, we have to look ourselves in the mirror and stop blaming, the market, the buyers, the sellers, our coaches or mentors. I mean, we are in control of what we need to do in our business. It's just easy to blame somebody else when you don't look at yourself in the mirror. I told somebody the other day, who was blaming everybody, I said, would you hire yourself right now as an agent? And they were like, no. And I said, well, why not? Right? Because, you have to have confidence. And like Debbie said, doing the activities will bring the confidence. So we're paralyzed with fear sometimes and just end up doing nothing. So I would say, look at yourself in the mirror and just like no plan B. You have to do this. I've been doing this for 18 years. I've never had a plan B. So hope that makes sense.
It does. Thank you for that. Oh, we got a couple more hands. Ted. Thank you, Krista. Ted. I don't know where Ted went.
Yeah, my takeaway already, is doing the activities will bring the confidence, because sometimes my confidence teeters. I'm just trying to be a little transparent here, but sometimes it teeters, and also the follow-up. That's another aha for me too, because I like the first interaction. I love that. And then it's like, okay, I got to call these people back, right? So that's another aha. So what I got 2 already. It's great. Now, so for the follow-up, I guess I just have to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do it. Thanks.
That's a little
Love
Mel
that.
Robbins reference there. Thanks, Ted, right? She used that, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stand up. She struggled with depression. She struggled getting out of bed. Her kids were late to school every day, and she was watching a television show late at night, and a commercial came on for a rocket that took off. And she says, why can't I just take action like that rocket. And the next morning when the alarm went off, she counted backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stand up, just in her brain, and said, stand up. And she stood up and she went, wow. You know, with depression, she was struggling to get out of bed every morning. And that's a strategy she teaches to the 5-second rule on taking action and getting into action. There's actually a whole bunch of science behind it, but counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then taking the action that you're feeling resistance to can be a very powerful tool for getting into action or getting back into action.
So thank you for sharing that, Deb. And so here's what happened. And I did not, in preparation for today's call, and, I was talking to Tom quite a bit, and Deb and DJ, and I had actually shared an article, and I just want to share it because you guys have said it. And so there was a great article, and we'll actually send it out so that everybody can see it as well. But I want to share with you just this little blurb of what it says. And then it also gives us some descriptions and kind of breaks down from play to win, play not to lose. And you guys are all right on track with that. And so here's what it says. Playing not to lose is an avoidance of strategy. And while it may protect you from the potential pain of negative feedback, it's a very costly approach. Every time you fail to live up to true commitments you make to yourself and to others, you undermine your self-confidence. I think Debbie said something about that. You also undermine your success by suppressing your natural potential. You hamper your leadership influence and ability to produce potentially game-changing results. It then goes on to say, playing to win is an entirely different than playing not to lose. They are both powerful mindsets, but the actions are different. I refer to playing not to lose mindset as least mode, and playing to win mindset is beast mode. In my leadership experience, the table below lists some of the common attributes, blah, blah, blah. So it says, if you're playing to win, you're panic and channeled into doing whatever is necessary to move things forward. You possess absolute conviction that you will win. You are energized, your energy is infectious, and your brain creates oxytocin and dopamine. Might have heard that before once or twice from Debbie. You focus on making the best of your strengths. You don't make excuses for anything. And it goes on and on and on. And I think Tom just shared it in the chat.
Yeah. When I was reading that over and over again, Curtis, if you're playing to win, your energy is volcanic and it's channeled, it's contagious. It's your energy, your movement, your hands, everything, your voice is louder. And my wife always tells me, can you be quiet? I'm like, I can't, because how am I supposed to talk soft and be energetic? No. So, and I'm that way too, when I'm trying to help somebody have a breakthrough. I'm not going to sit here and tap you on the back when you're struggling to get through something because you're not doing the work. I'll push you through the window instead of you trying to figure out how to get around it. Then we'll fix the scratches and bumps and bruises later. Right now, if you're not running fast forward and you're not having complete enthusiasm and energy, whatever you carry in your energy and in your enthusiasm is going to carry to the buyers and the sellers that you speak to. 100%. So every time we bring this to the call, anything to our calls, it's to give you something to walk away with, right? And Curtis, can I go on my rant? Can I keep going?
Hang on,
No.
Claire wants to talk.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna come back to that, but when I keep seeing energy is volcanic. I mean, and also it'll start off in your morning. Get fired up every day. Good.
So this is what's interesting is my mind was doing multiple backflips and hopping up and down, and I thought it was great. So here is something that's interesting, and I'm going to use an example that's in the chat. Tim mentioned that depression is like walking in quicksand. Well, if anyone anywhere has ever been in quicksand, because there's a lot of quicksand in Florida, the more you struggle to try to get out of the quicksand, the deeper you go, right? However, to get out of the quicksand, you have to fall flat. and you have to kind of crawl. You have to have more surface area. You have to leave the boots behind because they've been sucked into the sand and you're just falling flat. So this is where you do whatever it takes, those little subtle cues. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fell forward. Keep falling forward, because we are here to let you know that it is through our failures is your success. Because the difference between a failure and its success is what? Somebody gets back up one more time, right? However, when we have certain issues that are clogging our brains, please do yourself a favor and say, I am not the most important thing right now. I cannot be selfish and self-centered. I have a goal. I have a task I must complete, right? It's not the plan B. You're sticking to plan A. And if we don't have a plan, what are we going to do? And that's where our coaches come in, right? So if we're not having a plan to stay on the plan, and we don't have people that we're accountable to, that we're telling our plan to, how do we encompass those awesome people around us in our circle to do the uplifting, to notice our strengths so we can get over ourselves in the itty bitty shitty committee and keep moving forward? I have to have accountability partners. I have to have coaches, because of myself, I am nothing. And I'll be the first one to say that. So this is where it gets real on these calls. It's like smack dab awesome. And I love it. I like being beat in the 2x4 by my coach, and being beat with a 2x4 by the God of my understanding. It makes it easier for my brain and my prefrontal cortex to get that dopamine hit when I fail forward every time. Don't beat up on yourselves because you failed. Notice your strengths. And the way you notice your strengths is having accountability people and coaches around you who are showing you your strengths by the actions that you take. Not all of our actions are going to be perfect, and we are not all rendered spiritual fit all the time. That's why we have to have them. So I'm done with my rant.
The 2x4 getting hit with it's not a bad thing. It's the splinters that you get with the 2x4. Those things are irritating, you know. At least getting hit, it's done, it's over. Those splinters are sticking there, and go ahead. Krista, you got your hand back up?
Sorry, no, sorry.
All right. I'm waving at you too. Curtis? Oh, really? Okay. All right. I want to share something with you guys, and I think it's important for me to share this. Many of you that have known me for a long time will have probably already heard it before. So I get really passionate about certain things. I've done sales meetings in front of hundreds of people, and they'll go, hey, holy cow, you know, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I just want you guys to show up, right? But not only just show up, here's a question I have for you to think about is, are you showing up, or are you just turning this on, right? Are you engaged in what's being brought to you? Because, you know, there's a lot of talent, and there's a lot of coaching, and there's a lot of great things. You may not get something great out of every call, but we're investing our time to do this, right? So my first thing is, are you showing up? You know, here's a quick story. In 2007, I did, I don't know, 2006, I did 14 or 15 million in sales. I did some flips, made up, I don't know, over 500,000, something like that, right? That year. It's a lot of money back then. And it's a lot of homes to sell, okay? In 2008, guess what happened? We did 3 million in sales. So I went from making all that kind of money to almost nothing. So then there was this great course out there that was helping agents grow their business, because, you know, it was, hey, we got to get people into training. The market has shifted, and they need to go back to the basics of real estate, the skill set, the mindset, the habits, and the conversations. So I went to this class, and I sat at the back. I didn't engage in it for 8 weeks. I just sat there and watched and observed. I'm like, this is bullcrap. It doesn't work. People were succeeding at a high level and I was still failing. Then I sit back and go, my broker is a horrible person. I'm not succeeding because it's his fault. You know what? The office doesn't give me this. You know what? I'm tired of this because they're not doing this. And then I started to go into the blame game, like Krista said, right? My failures were now becoming a blame. I was hiding. I didn't want to be seen because I was a top agent who was now the bottom agent in that office. And that was very tough. So what did I do? I did some self-checkup, got in the mirror. You know, somebody played the song Man in the Mirror and said, read the lyrics in this course. So I went back and then I did it and I had a breakdown and then I had a breakthrough, right? In 2009, my business skyrocketed right back up, by the way, guys. It went right back up because I listened to what the people were telling me to do that have experienced this in the past. Now, I went in cautious because I was egotistic, not because I'm a cautious person. I didn't trust these people because I didn't think they were cool like me. And I didn't think it was cool to sit there and rant and cheer with a bunch of people and have all this kind of energy. I'm like, this is fake. Well, what it was fake was me. If I would have showed up and I would have been all in, I wouldn't have experienced the hardship that I experienced. But here's what the hardship did for me. It helped me understand that when something's being brought to me, regardless if you get 100% out of it or very little bit out of it, that very little, if I would have went all in, I would have left there and I would have been on top quicker than going through the pain and the misery and the heartache. And guys, I will tell you, when you go ask your son for his piggy bank and he's got like several $100s in there and you just need gas to get to your office when you were on top of the world financially and now you're at the bottom, it hurt. And here's why it hurt. Because I didn't pay attention, number one. Number two, I wasn't listening to the people that knew better than I did because they didn't know anything like me because I was all that. And I just want you to know that when you're showing up on these calls, I want you to show up. I want you to hear the things that, you know, we're saying, because I'm going to tell you right now, Robert said it at the beginning, and I'm going to say it a little bit differently. If you're not showing up and engaging and taking action, there's no way that you're going to want to continue paying a monthly fee, board dues, and everything else. It becomes an expense for you, right? I look at my board dues and my monthly fees as an investment. If you're looking at it as an expense, you need to get to work. And if you're looking to blame someone, go look in the mirror. I think Jamal said that earlier, or Ted said it. Go look in the mirror. Nobody on this call is the blame for you not succeeding. We're here for a reason, and we're here to help you progress. By the way, I don't think I got paid for showing up on this call to lead this call with Curtis, Debbie, and DJ, and Claire, or anybody else, by the way, just saying. And by the way, EXP is not paying me to be here on this call with you either. So my mindset is, if you're getting something, you're here, and that's a great thing. But if you're not implementing it and you're going home and you're blaming and you're doing a gossip game, go somewhere else. Bottom line, get out of we don't need the poison. Show up, do the work, take action. We're here to support you. And, you know, like I said, go into that. And by the way, it was a course called Bold. It was the very first Bold. And I'm like, that's a bunch of bull crap. You know, the chanting and doing all this stuff, it's crap. Well, let me tell you, when I was all in, it brought I brought everything back to where it was, normalcy. You know, life was horrible. People were horrible. People were poisoning my life left and right. But guess who was the real poison? It was me. I wanted to blame the broker. I wanted to blame the team leader. I wanted to blame everybody in the world, the market, the whoever. But here's what happens. There's always going to be ups and downs in your business. You can have a steady rise no matter what the market is. No matter how many realtors are in the market, it's not how many realtors are in the market that's not helping you create your business. It's you. See, there's plenty of business for you. It's not the realtors there's too many realtors. I hear that all the time. Well, if you're not going out to get your own fair share, they're going to take it. So don't blame it on too many realtors. Don't blame it on interest rates. Go out there, meet people, because many people on this call are doing it. Liz is doing it at a very high level. And I just go to her because I hear her stories over and over. She's not sitting at home crying, waiting for a lead to come through the door or on the phone. She's taking action. Same thing with Tawanda. She goes out there and knocks on the doors in the communities. She's taking action. She's not going out buying leads, waiting for a lead to come in. She shows up, she takes notes, and she implements. So are you showing up? How are you showing up? Are you taking notes? I've took already 2 pages of notes from today, and I learned from one that hit me right in the face was DJ. If you have a plan B, you're not committed to plan A. Guys, gals, business people, I'm telling you, we're here to deliver everything to you to help you implement. Friday calls are not a training call. Friday calls are a leadership mindset, also a coaching to get you to where you want to go. So I wanted to share that story with you because I know many of you are going through this right now. Many of you are struggling really bad right now. Many of you are saying, I'm not getting anything out of the morning calls. Many of you may be experiencing some rough times. And I challenge every single one of you to read the article that was put into the chat. Read it. Seriously, dig into it, right? And like Jamal posted, and I reposted it, by the way, Jamal, and I tagged you on it. And I love in your face quotes. Life is not hard. Life is not hard. You can hit. Life is not hard. You can hit, but how hard you get hit and keep moving, that's what winning is done. So no matter the struggles you're going through, no matter the obstacles, get through it, do the work, and you're going to get the results. By getting out there and taking action, you will build your skill set. I'd rather take a brand new agent who's highly motivated than someone who did $10 million last year and wants to sit there and cry and complain that their business is dying. Because they will do the work. And by the way, I know some of them, like Todd, does the work and he's not getting the results yet, but he's already getting the other stuff behind him. He's getting the no's behind him. He hasn't given up. Yeah, I mean, he sent me numbers the other day. Yes, they do work. It is working, and you're being paid for every no you're getting because you're getting to the yes. You can't give up. So I wanted to share that story, and that was one of my biggest life failures and my biggest life learning experiences, because my wife came to me and said this. She said to me, Tom, don't you think it's time that you look at another opportunity? An insurance company wanted to hire me, pay me a very healthy salary, put me through school and everything else, because I brought them a lot of business. And I said, I'm not leaving real estate. And she said, well, if you're not leaving real estate, then do something about it and make it work. Right? I had a responsibility. And right now, there's so much opportunity in the world. There's so much opportunity in real estate. Stop the blame game. No blaming, no hiding, and no gossip, and just go do the work. You're responsible for your own success. You're an independent contractor. You're a business owner. We are here to support you, guide you, push you, and help you achieve anything that you want to achieve. It's up to you to go get it. That's it, man. That's my rant, and I'm opening it up to you guys. And I hope that you get something out of that story, because I too had a lot of those struggles, and I still do. I have to do a checkup daily, every day, morning, afternoon. Morning, I do a checkup, afternoon, I do a checkup, and then at the end of the day, I do a checkup, because I want to make sure that I'm not allowing poison to pull me backwards. You know, you got anchors in this world and you have engines in this world. The anchors are going to sink you and the engines are going to push you forward. And that's by the book Mindset. So let's go, let's dig in. This is open to you guys. I know, thanks for letting me rant on there. Hope you got something out of there. Great topic for today, Curtis, for bringing this to us. And the article is in there. And I didn't have anybody tell me you're a jerk or anything like that there for
Not yet.
I wanted to
Not
approach
yet.
it differently. and
Call's
Curtis
not
is like,
over yet, Tom.
Curtis said, no, don't do it that way, Tom. All right. I said, okay. All right. Let me think about it. So
So
anyway,
here's just a quick tip, right? And then I see Tech Bits wants to go, and it's just a quick thing. I picked up another accountability partner this week because I have a goal of recruiting and I wasn't taking consistent action. And Tom and Curtis and DJ and I are always talking, we're masterminding all the time, but I recognized that I was not making the number of calls that was going to cause the result that I wanted. So I took action based on my own inaction, and I picked up another accountability partner, because when you struggle to do something or to take action, having to report to someone else and tell them to their face that you did not do the things you said you were going to do when you know they're taking action is what motivates me to move forward. So if you are in that place where you've burned the boats, but you're not taking action, go find a coach. I know we're a broken record. Go find an accountability partner, because together we can all be more successful if we work. Don't sit there and struggle alone and by yourself. I saw Simon Sinek yesterday said in his friend group and his relationship group, they have a don't cry alone rule. That if you're upset, if something happened to you, don't cry alone. Reach out to somebody. If they don't answer, reach out to somebody else. And it's not about helping them not cry. He said it's about getting down in the mud with them and sitting with them and letting that person vent, be frustrated. Now, a great friend's not going to let you live there. It's okay if you're there. And we need someone to put their arm around us when we're there. And then when you're ready, that friend should say, can I give you a hand up? Can I give you a hand out? But I love that. Don't cry alone. Don't struggle in this business alone. Reach out to somebody and get some support or help, because together, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
now, quick question, Debbie. The person you have that accountability with, is he new to the business and just looking for an accountability partner, or is he someone succeeding at a very high level?
No, this is someone who I perceive, just like Don Yoakum recommended. This is someone who I perceived was making calls more consistently than me. Why they said they wanted me as accountability partner when I was struggling, I don't know. What I do know is Scripps. I know Scripps really well. So this was someone that I perceived was doing a better job at recruiting. And since both of us are passionate about recruiting, we both recognize that we could use some additional accountability. By the way, that person has other accountability partners around this same topic. I have you all, Tom and DJ and Curtis, that are accountability for me. And yet I felt like I needed a weekly check-in where we script and role play for 10 minutes. And for 5 minutes, we talk about our numbers, and then we hang up and get back to work.
So find an accountability partner of someone who's succeeding at a high level. You may be brand new looking for an accountability partner. Don't find a brand new agent as an accountability partner. Find someone who's doing that's highly successful, that's got positive results, and that has a good mindset, that are doing the right thing. So don't be intimidated to go and ask someone to have an accountability with them, you may be surprised that you may be the best accountability partner for them. So you may be changing their life as much as they're changing yours. So, Joe, I see your hand up, bud.
Yeah, so I'm that new agent that you were just talking about. Full-time this week. I have my schedule, right? I have my schedule. And this is kind of what we're talking about, right? And I'll be kind of vulnerable here, but I plan a door knock yesterday. I didn't door knock yesterday. I planned a door knock the day before that. Didn't do it the day before that. Some things just kept coming up, right? Next week, I have it on my schedule. Like I just put a calendar together. I'm gonna door knock from 5:30 to 7:30. I'm gonna cold call from 10 to 12. But I need accountability, I feel like. And I feel like the door knocking I'm comfortable with, but I would like a partner to help me with.
Where are you at, Joe? Thanks for the
I'm in-
vulnerability, by the way. Where are you at?
Absolutely. Coral Springs, Boca. I live in Coral Springs, but I travel up and down.
Hang on, Tom. So Joe, thanks for sharing that. So what's your intention?
My intention is to, I guess, overcome the cold calling fears that I have, but also just kind of work on some scripts. Like I'd like to work with somebody who does cold calling, like really like that's good at it, can,
Okay. So
and-
we got 60 people on here. We can work that out. So let me ask you another question. What did you say your goal was for next week? That was the intention I was talking about.
My goal for next week is to cold call and door knock every day.
Cold call and door knock every day. Okay, is it on your calendar?
Yes.
Great. What could get in the way, Joe?
Myself.
Okay, what else?
Showings, clients. I do have 2 buyers that I'm working with right now, so that could get in the way.
Okay. How can we make sure that it doesn't get in the way, or that it actually happens, that you get this door knocking and cold calling done?
You time block it.
Okay, what else?
Make it more important than other things. I don't know.
Okay. Help him out. We got 60 people on here. What could Joe do? He's new. He doesn't know.
Can I tell
He's
you
learning
something?
though. Go
When
ahead.
you treat your calendar like a job that is somewhere that you have to report, you're gonna change your mindset on it. So treat your calendar like a job. You have to report to your job. If you were working a 9 to 5, you had to be at your job at 8:59 and you can't clock out until 5 o'clock. So treat that calendar the same exact way. I need to be at a house door knocking at this time and I cannot clock out until this time. That mental shift, because we all talk about treating our business like a business, but for me, don't slap me on the wrist, coaches. Like, please, please, please. I treat my business like a job, because I know if I was at a job, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I'm like, hey, my calendar, it shows me what I need to do every single day. If I know I'm going to be doing an open house on a Saturday, I know I'm door knocking Thursdays and Fridays for 2 hours because I have to be there. There is no ands, ifs, or buts. So hopefully that helps.
Liz, quick question for you. When
Yes,
you're
sir.
when you have the door knocking in your calendar, is that an appointment?
It's an appointment and it is non-negotiable. It's, hey, I am available this day on this day between these times. What works best for you? Point blank simple. There is no changing that in my calendar when I have to door knock.
Joe, was that helpful for you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey,
Also-
Joe, let me say something here.
Yeah.
If you had surgery and you, after that surgery, you had to go to physical therapy for 2 hours every day, or you were not going to be able to walk again, would you find time for it?
Absolutely. Yep. I need to be able to walk. I need to be able to
Awesome. We're gonna get to Robert here in just a second, but I know there's still 59, 60 people on the call. Joe asked about a role play partner. I know somebody on here wants to do some role play, so if y'all don't mind, somebody reach out to Joe. Joe would like to partner up with somebody, get some role play, real play kind of thing. So anyway, there's an opportunity there.
Steve, when do you do your script and role play on Zoom?
That was perfect timing, wasn't it? So we're Tuesday and Thursday, from 7:50 till about 8:20. So I think those were the times. Those are the times we were running because I didn't want to interfere with the GPS poll.
Okay, so that's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:50. So Joe, on the GPS Global Partners calendar, it's on the calendar with the link.
Awesome. Tuesday and Thursday. Put that on my calendar.
Hey, and Joe, you can reach out to me, man. Text me 407-873-0057. Because if that's not enough, I could try to pair you up with one of the team members on another morning, and you know what I mean, really hammer at it. So
Awesome.
just let me know.
Steve, perfect timing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I tell you. Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Steve. Thank you. Hey, Robert's been sitting patiently. Thanks for being patient, Robert.
He's not patient.
Yeah, well,
I'm very patient. So I will be vulnerable here. I had a very successful real estate career in New Hampshire. I moved to Florida. Everything in my life changed. I sat at a broker's office for years, paying dues, trying to figure out what to do about it. Even went to a bold class, and someone looked me straight in the eye and said, "What's in your wagon? Figure it out." I went back home and I said, I need to figure this out. I have lived a crazy schedule for works. I had a plan. I was already on a plan A. My plan B was real estate. And like everyone else here, I had to figure out how to do this. So I sat my ass down, figured out what I wanted to do, and looked at my schedule. And I said to myself, what the hell do you do at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're sitting there watching TV because you don't sleep? I've got time in my schedule. And I started to structure. I started to look at opportunities. I started to be very purposeful in my timing. I was determined to do what I needed to do. And as I started doing that, things became more successful. What I missed, and I will say it right here, is this morning Zoom call. My brokerage did not have that. And some guy said, hey, I'm going somewhere else. You should take a look at this opportunity. I said, no, you're a salesman. I'm not talking to you. Go away. And I talked, found this group, and I don't easily change. Usually takes me 2 or 3 months to change brokerages. I was fully up and running over here in 3 days, never turned my back, never turned around. And I'm thankful for this group. This is what got me here. This is what drives me forward. This is why I prefer to give back now. So if there's any new agents that are thinking, hey, that guy's got to be really successful, none of us have been always successful. All of us have struggled. All of us had to figure out what it is that we needed to do when we needed to literally be vulnerable to others and say, help me, help pick me up, help give me a direction. Now I can give back.
Robert, who was that guy? Oh, he muted. Robert didn't like what I had to tell him back then.
But you told me the truth.
Yeah, exactly. So there's not much fluff from Tom. Curtis actually got me smoothed out for this morning's call. You know, I had that energy fired up thing, but I'm glad that you know, sharing is important, and showing up and taking action is important. Guys, the real estate market's freaking on fire. Okay, now is the time to compete, right? Now is the time to get your fair share. Who gives a crap how many realtors are out there? Who gives a crap about a discount realtor? I'm going to tell you a little story on this too. A guy says, hey, Tom, would you help me sell my house? And I want 1.1 million. I said, Joe, thanks. Fantastic. Thanks for inviting me over. And by the way, I sold him the house like 3-4 years ago, and I just went on the appointment a week and a half ago, and I was just going to give it to my wife anyway. And he goes, hey, and by the way, I need a discount because I bought it from you. I said, fantastic, Joe, I'm going to give you a discount, but I'd like 20% of the equity that you got in the home. He says, hell no, I'm not doing that for you. I said, fantastic, Joe. Then we're going to work this out where you're going to have the best representation, knowledge, and negotiation power to help you get your home sold for $775. He said, Tom, you're out of your mind. I want 1.5 or 1.1 million. All the other realtors have told me that. I said, they lied to you, Joe. And here's what I want you to do. On your listing agreement, I want you to write, as soon as they ask you for a price reduction, you're fired, and call me. I'm telling you the truth, Joe, $775 if you're lucky. Well, people from California are spending cash. I said, but they're not stupid. Well, people are coming up from Miami with cash. They're not stupid. Joe, there's too many homes on the market in this community for you to get 1 million, even 800. So I gave him some recommendations of other discount realtors, and he called us. We plan on getting a call. Do not give up your money. Do not negotiate what's right for your family financially. He goes, well, Tom, you'll make at least $10,000. I said, Joe, I don't need your $10,000. Matter of fact, you need me to protect your asset. And then you'll never pay me any commission. He goes, well, you'll do it for nothing. I said, here's what I will do, Joe. I'll earn my commission based on helping you get the best price. He goes, but I'm still paying you. I said, no, you're not. Nobody ever pays me a commission. Bring value. Don't talk about commission up front. Bring value, bring value, bring value, bring value. Commission becomes almost irrelevant, honestly. So never, ever forfeit your worth for anyone, period. And here's what happens. The more you build your skill set, the better you're going to be able to have these presentations. And I've stood up and walked out of many appointments. Guys, hey, I want to hire you for this amount. Hey, you know what? The guy, Tom Beachler down the road, he does discounts. I don't. Matter of fact, I think he sells homes for 20% less than what they should be selling for. Go ahead and talk to him. What are you going to do? Do not give away your experience, knowledge, and skill set for anyone. What you're doing, you're setting yourself up to have that reputation. So I appreciate everyone on this call. It's 9:29. Coach Curtis, thank you for bringing the topic. Debbie, everyone who's participated in today's call. I've had some awesome getaways from today's call, takeaways and ahas. So I want to thank everyone for the interaction and participation on this call today.
Can I add something before we leave? Here's my advice. Do 3 to 4 open houses a week. Go out, get out of your house, quit sitting there, go out and physically meet 20 people a week. Call 15 people you know, follow up with them all. It's an easy, simple business plan. I promise it works. And stop trying to know everything. I talked to a lady yesterday that told me she was an agent she was going to like 2 to 3 seminars a week from different people in sales to tell her what to do. Sometimes we have, ladies and gentlemen, we have to just go out and go to work. You know, that's what I was taught as a kid. You know, you want something, work for it.
100%.
Tom, Curtis, Debbie, TJ, I'm very appreciative of what you guys bring to this group every week. I just want to say it personally. Thank you.
You sound emotional, Robert. Is everything okay, bud?
Oh, did I say Tom? Except for Tom.
Robert and I go way back, by the way, guys, and we've probably had more harsh conversations than friendly conversation. I don't know, maybe about equal. So, you know, being brutally honest with yourself is important. Being brutally honest with people around you is important. Once you're honest with who you are and what you're capable of, use your own superpowers. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be Robert. Don't try to be Curtis. Be you. And by the way, don't change your scripts. Make them you by internalize them. Joe, the more you internalize those scripts, the more you look at those scripts, I put scripts in there for you, Joe. you're gonna go, I'm not saying that. That doesn't sound like me. On a scale of 1 to 10, Joe, how motivated are you to sell? Most, you know, when I first seen that, I'm like, I am not saying that. There's no way. That's not me. I'm not doing it. But the longer and the more I internalize it, the better I got at it. So I hope everyone's got a lot out of this call. Steve, thanks for popping in. Perfect timing for Joe and for many others. And you know, I appreciate every one of you.
Here's the easiest script. Hi, I'm a real estate agent. Is there anything I can do to help you? It really is, right? Are there better ways when people say, I don't know if I'm ready to sell now? There's absolutely scripts to do that, but just go out and help people and offer to help them to the best of your ability. And then you can learn scripts and practice scripts over time. You know, hi, my name's Debbie. I sell real estate. Is there anything I can do to help you? That's the best script of them all.
I agree. I think we overanalyze, we overthink it, door knocking, whatever it may be. It's just getting into action and doing the activity, and then something will shake loose because of it. I think we get all caught up and, oh my God, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? What am I going to say? Just get out there and do it, you know? So Tom, thank you, man. I picked up nuggets already and I've only been on the call 5 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, for pitching it. By the way, if anybody doesn't know who Steve is, Steve's very highly successful and he is a sponge. He's always learning and he's always taking action. And let me just tell you, I'll get on a call with Steve and he'll go, sorry, man, I just didn't do my job this week. That man will beat himself up more than anybody I know. And he's succeeding at a higher rate than 99% of the population of realtors out there. So if he's beating himself up because he knows his potential is much higher and he's even succeeding at a high level, that is being brutally honest with yourself. That is someone who is learning, growing, coachable, learning based. Those are the individuals who will continue to succeed and give back. So
I hate it when you talk like that too. I got all wigged out, but I appreciate you saying that. And we're all capable, right? So more than capable, all of us. So it's just doing the activities. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Steve. All right, is it the after hour part? Look at Tiffany, she's already.
It's the after hour. We should bail so they can talk smack about us.
Look at Tiffany, she's just, look at her.
I will never allow anybody to talk bad about my coaches in front of me. And they all know I will say it flat out in front of everybody's faces. I don't care who you are. You will never talk bad about my coaches in front of me because I will put you in your place. Sorry,
And
not sorry.
don't even talk bad about Boys in the Hood either.
Oh, you know, I got like 4 people write me about this shirt. So I'm like, I should have not probably picked this one, but it's Friday. It's Friday. I'm about to go to Jacksonville, so I need to be ready. Okay. So really quick, if
City girl, you
anybody's
going
gonna
in the
be in
woods?
Jacksonville.
City girl, you going in the woods?
No, I am not. I don't do the woods. I am a city girl. I don't do bugs. Y'all know that. Don't play me, Robert. But really quick, guys, if anybody's going to be in Jacksonville tomorrow, I'm doing not 1, but 2 open houses. They're right next door to each other, guys. I just called the listing agent. She happened to be listing them both. So we're doing both houses at the same time from 1 to 4. If you guys have me on Facebook, the addresses are on there and I would love to meet my peeps. So come and check me out, y'all.
And guys, if you're in Orlando, Daytona, or wherever, and you can learn how to grow a massive business through open houses, with Liz doing them, you need to make the investment and go.
Hi, Coach C.
Yeah,
I'm in Daytona, Liz. Are you in Daytona?
I am not. I'm in Haines City. Shut up, Deep, before you say it. Don't do it. I'm like in the Davenport, Haines City area. However, I have a team member in Jacksonville. So he is going to be shadowing me and running his first open house this weekend. So I'm like, what better opportunity than for me to drive up and do it with him? So that's what we're going to be doing.
Okay, now
Liz,
that
you're strategic in location, Liz. The reason you're in Haines City is you're strategic because that allows you to get to here and here without being stuck in one place or another.
Yes, because I actually have a listing coming up next weekend in Wesley Chapel, and I have a listing coming up in Keystone Heights. So I don't ever want to hear anybody ever say it is too far, because I go to freaking Jacksonville, to Tampa, to God knows where else I've been, but I go everywhere.
Our technology allows us to do that, guys. So don't be afraid. And Liz, did you get the Wesley Chapel through a referral? I thought I seen something on our referral network for Wesley Chapel.
No, the one that I have, it's a friend of mine when I used to live in Tampa. So I'm selling her house. So I'm excited, and then helping them buy some vacant land. We're trying to do a construction department loan. So if anybody knows people who do construction department loans, please let me know.
Okay, quick thing that I have my mic open. I have been doing open houses for the last 6 weeks straight. I need to try to get my open house to a higher level.
Come check me out. If you can come this weekend. If you
Well,
can come this
Ted-
weekend, come check me out.
Ted, I'm in Orange City this weekend. I'll drop my.
I have an open house going on this weekend. so
Oh, okay.
I want
Okay.
to, stick to my consistency, but I still try to get it to a higher level.
Ted, can you
Yeah.
put the address of the
There's
open house
plenty
in
of
the
inventory
chat?
in Daytona Beach area for you. Once you can get on the Monday calls for the open house as well that we do, the open house calls. But there's plenty of inventory in our Daytona, especially Pelican Bay. There's multiple listings for sale in there. So get on those open house calls on Monday. It'll really make an impact for you to get a better turnout or higher rate of turnout.
Got you. Thank you.
Liz, this is a holiday weekend. Do you have any concerns about trying to do the open houses, or Ted?
No, because I'm not gonna do it on Sunday, because I feel like that would be a little weird. So I'm only doing Saturday.
No, for me, because Daytona Beach is a tourist town and they just keep coming. They keep coming. I mean, I do on Fridays, and I still get people, but I believe there's a way for me to turn it up where I can get a higher turnout. So that's
Yep,
why I'm reaching out.
Yeah, get
Ted,
on
drop-
the Monday calls, Ted. The Monday calls are highly, highly important for open house. I mean, they focus on doing it at a high level. So, all right, guys,
Ted, can you
everyone,
can you drop the address? I live in the area. If I'm around you're gonna do it on Saturday, I'll try to swing through.
Okay.
guys, I gotta get, good to see everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Easter. I got my granddaughter coming today. So if you need me, call someone else. No.
Tom, you're a real one for that. I love you.
Thanks,
It's
Tom.
Friday,
Have a good
y'all.
Easter weekend.
Tiffany,
Robert.
it's all yours after party.